Hello, students. Today we are continuing our look at converting equations into slope-intercept form. So as a reminder, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. We talked about, and you can view last week's PowerPoint, where it doesn't necessarily have to be in this exact order. The mx and the b terms could be rearranged because addition is commutative. But our goal, regardless of what our equation looks like, is to isolate the y. That means we want to get it on a side by itself. So let's work through a couple of these. So if we look at number 7, my goal is to get this y on a side by itself. So that means everything that's not a y, we need to move to the other side by using our inverse operations. So this 3 was added, so we will subtract it. Now, an important thing, these are not like terms. Okay? Negative 2x and negative 3 are not like terms, so we cannot put them together. I just rewrite what I've done. Okay, so now I'm still not completely in slope-intercept form. I need this y 100% isolated and by itself. So this 1/4 that's sitting in front of it, we need to get rid of that. Okay? When I have a coefficient in front of a variable, the implied operation is multiplication. So to undo multiplication, we're going to divide. Okay, but I'm dividing by a fraction. So think about what that means. Okay, dividing by a fraction is the same as multiplying by its reciprocal. Okay, so that means everything in this problem is going to be multiplied by 4. So I'm distributing. So negative 2x times 4 gives me negative 8x, and negative 3 times 4 gives me a negative 12. So then you're done. There are no like terms within this problem, so I can't take it any further. Okay, so let's take a look at number 8. So now we got this fraction involved. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put that 2, make it as a fraction as well by putting it over 1. What we have created here is a proportion now. So in order to solve a proportion, what we can do is we can cross multiply. Okay, so I'm going to cross multiply here. So 2 times 4 is 8. Now I have to go 1 times y, which is just my y, and then I have to go 1 times negative 3, which is negative 3. Okay, so now remember our goal is to get the y isolated. So you'll notice there is not an x in this problem, and that's okay. Not all of our equations have to have the x in them. Our goal is still to isolate this guy. So that means this 3 that was subtracted. Use our inverse operations, which means I'm going to add it to the other side. So my equation for this problem is y equals 11. Okay, so looking at number 9. So again, this is already in proportion form, which means I have 2 equivalent fractions. So when it is in proportion form, we cross multiply to solve. Okay, it doesn't matter which part you do or multiply first. I'm going to go this way first. So remember, I have to go 2 times y. Well, let me show you. Let me write it out. Okay, it would be 2 times y plus 2 equals 1 times 6x. So that's what it looks like. That's what we're doing. And that's how I know that here I am supposed to multiply or distribute. So 2 times y is 2y, 2 times 2 is 4, and 1 times 6x is 6x. Now we work to get the y by itself. Subtract the 4 from both sides. These these guys are not like terms, so please do not try to join them together. You write them as two separate terms. Okay, we want our y again completely isolated. It is not yet. So this time I'm going to divide by 2 because the 2 in front of the y means they're being multiplied. Every term in my problem needs to be divided by 2. If, when you divide, they divide to give you whole numbers, you will simplify it to those whole numbers. If they did not simplify to whole numbers, I would have left them as simplified fractions. So that's the answer. So we took it from this form to its slope-intercept equivalent down there. Okay, so let's look at another one like this. Again, we have our two equal fractions, our proportions. So I'm going to cross multiply to solve this. So that means I'm going to go 3 times y minus 4. I'm going to set that equal to negative 4 times 9x. This means to distribute. So 3 times y is 3y. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Negative 4 times 9x is negative 36x. Our goal is to isolate and get this guy alone. So we'll add 12 to both sides. Again, these are not like terms, so those do not get simplified. So negative 36x plus 12. I always want the y alone. So the 3 and the y were being multiplied, so we are going to divide by the 3. Everything in our problem will be divided by 3. So this gives me y equals negative 12x plus 4. And so then there is my equation in slope-intercept form. All right, I want to look at one last equation type here. So it's same concept. Okay, our goal is still to isolate this guy. I have to clean this problem up to put it in that slope-intercept form. So I need to start by getting rid of these parentheses. Okay, so I'm just going to rewrite the left side. Nothing has changed over here so far. Now 2/3 times x is 2/3 x. 2/3 times 3. This means 2 times 3, which is 6. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Okay. Now get this guy by itself, so subtract the 5. You'll notice this time when I subtract the 5 to the other side, it has a buddy. It has a like term over there that I can go ahead and simplify with. 2 minus 5 is negative 3. So now we've taken that equation and put it in slope-intercept form. All right, I want us to go ahead and look at one more of these types of problems. So again, our goal, anytime we're asked to put it in slope-intercept form, is to isolate the y. So if you ever see an equation like this, here's what it wants us to do first. We have to distribute to get rid of our parentheses. My left side is not changing right now. Now 3/4 times x is 3/4 x. 3/4 times negative 12. So 3 times negative 12 is negative 36. Negative 36 divided by 4 is negative 9. Now we can continue with isolating this y. I have to get rid of this guy. So he was subtracted, so I'm going to add him. Again, this time, because I had that minus 9 over there, I do have like terms, so I can do a little bit of simplification. Notice I'm not doing anything with the 3/4 x. It's only the constant number, so negative 9 plus 8 is negative 1. And that is my equation in slope-intercept form. You will complete the Google form in Classroom. Please reach out and let me know if you have any additional questions.